Hello and welcome back to Kim's Cozy Corner. I'm Kim and it's cold, y'all. Well, the weather has finally changed. We have received several days of temperatures in the mid 20s at night and barely getting above freezing in the daytime. I'm in zone 6A, which is in southwest Ohio, and we've had some light frost earlier, several weeks ago, but over the last few days, and I think we're in the last day of it, it's been cold. It's been very cold, where I've had ice all day long in any kind of standing water areas. So I want to share with you how the garden's doing after two pretty hard freezes with sub-freezing temperatures for multiple days. And I want to share with you how my cool season crops look compared to my summer crops. And there's a big difference of multiple days below freezing for cool season crops and summer crops. So let me just show you some of the things. And you're also going to see all the things that I didn't get to in time before that frost came in. So let me just show you some of those things. Here is one of my green stalks that I didn't finish taking it down. And you see, I had tomatoes here. These tomatoes looked beautiful about 4 days ago when the temperatures were still in the 50s with 40s at night with no frost. But after 2 nights of a super deep freeze and 2 days where we barely got above freezing, you can see this plant is done. It's toast. There's nothing left of those tomatoes. But as I go down this green stalk, and there's not much left in this green stalk, but as I go down this green stalk, you will see my carrots. They still look good, right? Look at those carrots. There's nothing wrong with these carrots. So they survived that deep freeze. And actually, these carrots, when I pull them, they are going to taste delicious. They will be sweeter. There's a huge caterpillar on my carrots. That caterpillar has to go. Oh, it's huge. Anyway, the carrots survived. Now, as I move over to this green stalk right here, this green stalk had strawberries in the top. Now, the strawberry season's over. There are no more strawberries coming in this late in the season, but you can see there's still some green, right? They didn't die all the way back. And these strawberries will come back next year. So we're not worried about the strawberries. But then when you come down just below the strawberries, there are many different types of herbs in here. So there's sage, there's parsley, there's oregano, there's rosemary, all different types of herbs in this tower. And you see, they still look good. There is nothing wrong with this sage. I could harvest it right now and it would be absolutely delicious. Same thing with this rosemary. Now, rosemary typically doesn't hold up very, very long with super, super cold temperatures. So got to be careful with the rosemary and the oregano. The oregano looks amazing. Now, eventually, it's not going to be able to handle the cold weather either, but it'll come back next year. So it is a perennial. All of these are perennials. Now, this is parsley. I have never, my parsley is not a perennial. I will have to replant that, but I will be harvesting this parsley. I'll be drying it, and we won't be buying parsley next year. Here is another green stalk with another great example of one, my neglect. But outside of my neglect to this green stalk, look at this tomato plant. There is nothing left. This tomato plant is dead for the season. Now, if you have cold weather and you just have one bad day of cold weather, then typically you'll get a little bit of frost damage to the end of the leaf, but it'll bounce back. But it's November, y'all. This plant's not coming back. And look at all of these tomatoes that I didn't pick that I should have picked, but they've been frozen now, so we will just pull that out eventually. But the tomatoes are done. Now, if I had done a good job to take care of these plants, this is lettuce. And look at this lettuce right here. It still looks good. There is nothing wrong with this lettuce. I don't remember what kind of lettuce it is, but outside of a little bug damage, I could pick this right now and it would taste amazing. The lettuce is a cool season crop, and as long as it doesn't get too cold, the lettuce can handle some of that cold weather. At the very top of this GreenStalk planter, there's one carrot that somehow I left in here, but it's super green and it's going to taste amazing. Now, I just showed you 3 different GreenStalk vertical planters. If you're interested in purchasing a GreenStalk vertical planter, I have a link in the description below. It'll take you to the website. You can learn all about the GreenStalk planters. And there's also my coupon code below, Kozy10, and you can save $10 on purchases of $75 or more. So if you're interested in a GreenStalk, you got to see some of mine in the worst condition. But the GreenStalks will give you 6 different plants on each of the tiers, and they come in many different shapes and sizes and colors. You really should check out the GreenStalks. I have 11 GreenStalks, and I grow a variety of things in them, and you can check out some of my GreenStalks in my GreenStalk playlist. But let's get back to the garden and the differences between cool weather and your summer crops. Now, here are some of the flowers that I had on my patio just in front of my door. And look, there's still some blooms on there, which honestly, I don't understand. These flowers are not cool weather crops. They're not cool weather crops at all. But I do have a few flowers hanging on by a thread. And I just believe it's because on my front porch here, or my patio here, if you kind of, let me just pan around here, there's a lot of protection by the garage and a huge tree that shades this space in the spring and the fall. In the summer, it gets hot even here. So I believe they're hanging on just because of a little protection from the warmth of the house and some of the shaded areas. Here's another flower that should not be blooming at this time of the year. There should be no flowers. These are straw flowers, but there shouldn't be any straw flowers with the weather that we're currently having. I'm over to the main garden area and look at my peppers. My peppers are bad. My peppers don't look good at all. The frost definitely got to them. Next year, I will take these pepper plants and I will try to overwinter them. I've never done that before, but we will give that a try this year. Basil. Basil is another one of those plants that's a warm crop. It's a summer crop. It cannot handle frost at all, and look how dark it is. It's dead and it's gone forever. Same thing, that was peas. They're dead and they're gone. 2 towers I should have took care of and never got to before the frost got here, but you have to do what you can do in the time that you have. Even in my raised beds, everything's dead. All of the tomatoes, all of those 100 tomato plants, they're gone. They've died back. Or should I say the frost killed them. And this is where I started doing some work and stopped. But look, there's still ice. I have ice in here. Look at that. 3 o'clock in the afternoon and there's ice. Zone 6A, Southwest Ohio. The season is definitely over. But look at this Napa cabbage. Napa cabbage, a cool weather crop, and it looks amazing. And it's barely above freezing at 3 o'clock. And it's green, it's healthy, and it is full. So I'm in the sun, which is great because it's so cold out here. There are certain crops that do really, really well in the cooler season. Now, we call those brassicas. Brassicas love some cool weather. They can take a frost. I plant my brassicas usually 3 or 4 weeks before the last frost in the spring, and I get them in my fall garden so I can harvest from them all the way up until pretty much it gets cold and stays cold. Brassicas include your broccolis, your cauliflowers, your cabbages. All of those type things can take a light frost. And a couple, pretty heavy frost, it can handle that, but it can't stay cold day and night. It's got to have some of those warming times or you'll lose them for good. But these are this is broccoli. It's got some bug damage, but it survived. It survived those sub-temperature weather. And so they look good. I also want to show you my kohlrabi. My kohlrabi is doing well. Let's go over there and check that out. So with the exception of some bug damage, this is my kohlrabi. And you see, they're still green. The leaves did not turn a dark brown and just die back. The kohlrabi is very happy. And I have some little baby cabbage over here that I should have picked a long time ago. And I also see a nice green worm on there eating my cabbage. But the cabbage can survive cold weather. So I just wanted to show you how nice and green it still is. That one over there absolutely needs to be picked. And I planted some cabbage for my fall garden, but between me not being here to water and the bugs, I don't believe they made it. You see here that they have been eaten all the way back to the ground. And at this point, it's probably too late to do anything about it for my season. But right next to it, look, there are carrots. They're green. And you can actually overwinter carrots in my zone. So if I don't pull these up now, I can leave them here all winter long and maybe get a harvest early in the spring. The carrots in this space, I will absolutely harvest some of those this fall, maybe around the holidays, to enjoy them with one of my holiday meals. But the tomatoes back here, they're done. They are done for the year. They've all died back. I have a few red cabbage left in here. They're baby, but the red cabbage, just like any other cabbage, can handle the frost. It is also a cool season crop, whether we're talking red cabbage or green cabbage in this space here. And I never talk about this, guys. I never talk about this right here, but this, all of this in this space here, these are all leeks. And honestly, I forget quite often I have leeks in the garden, but the leeks came through like a charm with this cold weather, and they're doing amazing. And I have just a few, maybe one onion in the garden here that I didn't even know it was there. But there's an onion over there that made it through the weather as well. So onion can take a light frost, but you don't want to leave them in the ground where the ground freezes hard for a long period of time. Man, I miss those tomatoes. That's a nice sized tomato right there. I should have picked that tomato and taken that inside. We're going to see if we can ripen this inside. Now, if you look at this tomato right here, you can see it's got veins and stuff in it. You can tell the frost got to that. But this tomato right here, this tomato still looks good. It looks like it would if frost hadn't got to it. So we're going to take that inside. It may not be any good, but we're going to definitely give it a try. Now, green beans, summer crop. They can't handle the frost. And these green beans are finally done for the season. They've all died back, and if they hadn't died back, that cold weather would have killed them anyway. So green beans, summer crop, can't handle the frost. One of the last plants that I want to show you here is my celery. I have a ton of celery in the garden. I think I planted about 50 plants. I harvested off of the plants all season long. I dehydrated the leaves. I froze quite a few of the stalks. And this celery is still crunchy if you like celery. I don't like fresh celery. I like to cook with celery, but I don't like to eat it fresh. But the stalks are still amazing. They're still super green. They can handle a light frost. And I've been told that they actually taste sweeter once that light frost has hit it. But I don't like the taste of fresh celery. I like it in my cooking, but not fresh. But I probably have, I don't know, 10 or 12 or more celery plants here that when it's a little warmer, I'll come out here and I'm going to harvest some more and freeze and dehydrate it so I don't have to worry about buying celery salt, celery season, celery spice in any way, shape, or form for my winter meals. So that's a quick tour of my November garden after a deep freeze. Actually, we even had a dusting of snow a couple of days ago. So a few nights of really, really cold temperatures, a heavy frost, and still standing ice today. I just wanted to share with you the difference between cool season crops and your summer crops. And look, I'm standing next to a strawberry GreenStalk tower that's done for the season, but these strawberries will come back next year. So remember, some of these crops may be done. Don't pull them out. Make sure it's not a perennial, because those perennials will give you joy and more fruit next year. I hope you enjoyed this short video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. I'll keep the videos coming. And until next time, and I hope there will be a next time, bye.